Welcome to Comet Computer Private Limited, e-learning program of implementing and administering network technologies. We are discussing about IP subnetting. Um, Session 1 is completed. We will move on to the session 2. Last session we discussed about CADR, classless interdomain routing, which is nothing but a slash based notation, and by which we are easily representing the required subnet mask in the easiest way. Instead of writing the complete thing, you can write the slash notation based on the class A, B, C. You can make a note of it. Now we'll move with the subnetting of IP address for class C. So now we are beginning the subnetting. We have given some examples in the previous session. Now we have to do the subnetting for class C. So let us see how to do a subnetting. So let's take an example of the IP address. I'm taking directly class C address, and I'm giving the subnet mask. In the previous examples, we have seen like they have given the IP address and they asked 10 subnets, 15 subnets, the numbers. But now here they are directly giving the subnet mask. So they'll ask some standard questions in exams or in the interview based on the subnets. So we need to remember these questions, and we'll be working out for these questions in a normal way for all the calculations. These 5 questions are repeatedly used. So whatever it is, class A, B, C, I'll follow this 5 questions pattern. Okay, so you have to remember this, and it'll be easy for you to work out whenever they ask for questions in the exams. Because in exams, they'll just give this question. They may ask, what is the first address of third subnet in this particular range, or they'll ask what is the broadcast address of 10th subnet. So you have to do a calculation and write a table quickly so that you can pick up this answer and close this question. So let's see how to do. So it is class C, and the question is, first question is, how many subnets available in the network? These are the standard questions, so just keep it remembering how many subnets available in the network. Now I have class C IP address, and by seeing the subnet mask, I could see it is 255.255.255.192. So I can easily understand it is a class C. Okay. So if I borrow 1 bit, so here what happens? This 3 portions will be network portion, and 1 portion is the host portion. So that is the normal standard. You remember, right? Class C, 3 portions are network portion, and 1 portion is the host portion. If at all any borrow requires, if I want to expand my network, I have a 24-bit dedicated for network and 8 bits dedicated for host. So I can borrow the data from host portion to the network portion one by one. So now what I'm doing, I'm just trying to borrow 1 bit. It is 0, 2 bit, I'm getting 192. Whatever subnet mask I have, I'm getting that number here. So 192. So with this, we have to close this number. We cannot proceed further. So what is my conclusion? This network segment has 2 subnets available. How I am coming to the 2 subnet calculation? I come to know they borrowed 2 bits, and as per subnet table, right? Subnet table you have to refer. If I borrow 1 bit, it is 128. If I borrow 2 bit, it is 192. Subnet table. Okay. So since I'm borrowing 2 bits, the mask will be 192. Okay. So I'm just concluding this network has 2 subnets. How many hosts per subnet? Okay, 2 subnets you are saying. Number of computers, how many computers I can connect? So that is the range. How many IPs will be there in each subnet? Now 2 subnets from which IP to which IP. So the network IP given here 192.168.10.0. So what will be my other IP addresses? So we need to form a table and find out what will be my IP address. So how many hosts per subnet? Since we have borrowed 2 bits for forming the network, we have given this 2 bits, right? Here the rest of the portions are 6 bits. So we can directly do the calculation 2 power 6 minus 2. It means that I will have 62 hosts inside a network. So first conclusion, I will have two subnets. Second conclusion, each subnet will have 62 computers inside it. So I can have 62 usable IPs inside the network. Okay, so what are all the valid subnet ID? Okay, subnet ID. So it is the starting of IP address. It is representing the tagging. Okay, so what is the starting of IP address? So I can do it like 256. It is also a formula 256 minus subnet mask. Your subnet mask ends with 192. Okay, so 256 minus 192, 64. So the range starts from 10.64. That is one network. This is one network. First network starts from 192.168.10.64, and second network is 64 plus 64 what? 128. So it is second network will start from 128. So this is how we find out valid subnet. Now forming a subnet table. Okay, from this only we can find out whether what is the IP address, what is the broadcast address, all those things. So when I'm dividing a network, right? Each network will have subnet ID. Remember this, okay? Each network will have subnet ID. The first IP address of the subnet is called subnet ID. This is going to represent the entire network, entire IP address for segregating the data. So subnet ID is with network ID we call generally, right? So now that network ID is divided, so that becomes a subnet ID. And each subnet will have a broadcast address. This is a standard, okay? Even for bigger networks, this is the standard. If you take even a big network in class A, each will have their own subnet ID and the broadcast address. This is going to broadcast the information within this network, right? So without broadcast, you cannot form a network. Okay, so because broadcast is the function which is going to help you for getting the mission wherever it is. If you don't have broadcast, then it is very difficult to find out where the mission it is. Okay. How to form the table? In a simple way, how I used to form is, so we can just take what are the subnets allowed for this particular calculation. It was mentioned like 192.168.10.64, and the second subnet is 192.168.10.128. So after this 64, the first IP will be next IP, right? So first usable IP, okay, 64, then 65. This is the first usable IP. For last usable IP, some people will get confused, okay, because it is saying 64. So they'll have to add 64 numbers to it. Otherwise, what we can do is we'll go back in the reverse order. Okay, the next subnet ID is 128. Always the before the network subnet ID, whatever IP address are available, it will be a broadcast address. Before the subnet ID, whatever it is available, it is a broadcast address. We can directly fill the table. Okay. And then before to that is a last usable IP. Okay. So it will be easy for us to fill the table if you go in the reverse order. Otherwise, people will get confused with the 64 plus 64, 64 plus 63, and they will not be able to remember it. So we are not able to proceed further because it is matching the exact subnet. So that's the reason we are not matching it. The next question will be what are the broadcast address used in the network? We can just say what is the broadcast address. Okay. What I will do, I will just go with some Excel sheet for a better understanding. So whatever number we are discussing is 192.168.10.0. So this is the network, and we already discussed we can form two subnets, right? And we found that the difference is 64. 64, okay, 64. So we just subtracted from 256 and finally we got 64. So now we need to build the subnet table. So first thing is subnet ID, starting IP, end IP, broadcast IP. Okay, so we'll keep this handy. So we already said we can have maximum two subnets. So what will be the subnet ID? First thing, 192.168.10.64. So this is going to be my first subnet ID. So what is my second subnet ID? I need to add another 64 to it. 192.168, 10.64 plus 64 is 128. What will be my third subnet ID? Just typing it for understanding. 192. So since it is matching with our subnet mask, we will not proceed with this. We'll have to stop our proceeding here itself. Okay. Now we'll have to find out the rest of the details, how to do it. So as per standard information, what we have to understand. So filling this table is very simple. Okay, but I am going in a reverse order. Okay. So since this is the next subnet ID, the broadcast IP will be the prior IP will be the broadcast IP. Broadcast IP is the last IP used in the network. Okay. So this range 128 range, what will be the last IP? To know that, I need to know what is the next segment, right? For that only I wrote the next segment. So before to this IP, it will be a broadcast IP 192.168.10.191. So this will be my broadcast IP. So before to that, it will be a ending IP. So 192.168.10.190. So this is the end IP. And what will be the starting IP? 192.168.10.129. So here, after 128, it is 129. Okay. So it will be till 190. Okay. Just taking this separately. So here we are seeing, so maximum we can have 62 IP address. See, these are the usable IP address. These are the usable IP address from starting from 129. I just put it here and dragged it with the number. So 129. So when I drag, so maximum is 190, right? So 190, it says 62. 62 as a number. So overall, I'll have 62 usable IPs. So it is by default. Any subnet, you will have subnet IP representing the network, entire network. When we go for searching the device, when we are sending the traffic to outside, it has to identify the network. So it will be used for identifying the network. Okay. And this is being used for all the desktops and laptops in the network. And this is for the broadcast. So in a network group, you should have one broadcast IP. So this is the standard. We cannot do anything. The same way, we can go for filling up the previous one. So subnet ID is 128. Before to that, you will have the broadcast IP 192.168.10.127. 127. Since it is a 62 IP, so what we can do 192.168.10.65. So people will say add 62 numbers to it, you will get broadcast IP. So there are different methods available. So it is easy to form the table and represent it instead of going for any confusions. So now, what is the prior IP? 192.168.10.126. 126, sorry. So this is the formation of table, subnet table. Okay. So this is only two lines. Okay. In case no, sometimes it will go 64 line, 120 lines and all based on the subnet mask what we are taking. But this is how we simply build the subnet table. For faster typing and all, we'll take only the last segment number dot 128 dot 64 like that. But this since it's the first example, I'm taking a full example as a subnetting. So hope this is clear how we are taking it. So people will ask questions like what is the broadcast address of a second subnet? Okay, or they'll ask what is the second or third IP in the second segment. Okay, so if they are asking what will be the third IP in the second segment, so this is the second segment. What is the third IP? Usable IP. The first usable IP is 129, second usable IP 130, third is 131. So in your CCNA exam, in your exam questions, right, you have to choose this as an answer. Since they are asking third IP, I'm just mentioning this is the third usable IP. You cannot assign this to any computer, broadcast IP or subnet ID. Okay, but inside whatever IP you have, that can be assigned to your subnet. I mean the desktops. So this is the answer, right? So hope this is clear now. Class C subnetting. We'll see other example. Don't worry. So here it is class C subnet. Um, another same thing. I'm taking the same thing, but I'm just changing the mask. So it is 224 now instead of 120, 192. I'm just taking 224. Do the same calculation. Borrow the bits. We know we have to borrow the bits from network host portion to the network portion. So continuing the borrowing bit. I need to understand when I can stop, right? So when I'm borrowing 3 bits, I'm getting 6. So what is the subnet mask for 6 bits borrowing? It is 3 bits borrowing 128, 192, 224. It means if I borrow 3 bits from host portion to the network portion, my subnet mask will be 224, right? And by this calculation, I'm coming to the conclusion I will have six networks in my six subnets in my network. So under this particular range, I'll have six subnets and subnet mask will be 224. Okay. Now I want to understand in each subnet how many systems can be available, how many IPs I can use. Okay. So for that, I'm just taking the rest of the portion. Since I have taken 3 bits for network, I I left with 5 bits in the host. So 2 power 5 is 32 minus 2 is 30. So I will conclude 30 host. So what is the conclusion now? I with this range I have 6 subnets. In each subnet I'll have 30 usable IPs. Okay, what is the subnet mask? So just subtract this 224 with 256. Your subnet range will be 32. So like this, you'll have a table dot 32 dot 64, right? It will be formed like this. So now I'm taking the table here. So dot 32 dot 64 dot 96. So just add it with the 32 number. We are stopping with 224 because my subnet mask is mapping with 224. So how to form this table? Again, it is simple. We can follow the reverse order and do the calculation. Again, I will help you on this. 10.32. So now I'm just making it 10.32 is my 10.32. Okay. First, fill up the subnet table. 32 plus 32 is 64. 64 plus 32, 66, 96. So in exams, you cannot spend time in writing all this full notation, right? So what we used to do is just type a last number, okay, so that you can easily understand the calculation because we have to sum it up and do it. 96 plus 32, 98, then 128. 128 plus 32. Let it be like I'm just putting dot 128 plus 32, 128. 160. So since it is 0, it is not taking 160. Okay, at least I system is not accepting. 160 plus 32, 192, right? So 4, 5, 6, 32, 64, 96, 128, 192. Then our subnet mask is 224. So the last will be 7. It is 0.224. So here I'm stopping because my subnet mask is matching with the value. I'm not proceeding here. So filling up the balance table. So since it is dot 224 is my next subnet ID, the previous IP will be the previous sequence number, right? So it will be 192.168.10.223. Okay. So this is the last broadcast IP, last IP, and that is where broadcast IP. Previous IP will be um, 10.222, and next IP will be easy, right? 10.193. Okay, so same way, since the subnet ID is 0.192, I'm just making 10.191 broadcast IP. It will be 10.190. Okay, so this will be 10.161. For easy understanding, I'm just making the numbers very little. Otherwise, no, we need to go type and everything in a full form. So it will be, you want to type full form, I will type 192.168 dot 10.159. Next exams and all, I will not type 192.168 dot 10.158. So it will be 192.168 dot 10.129. Okay, so 192.168 dot 10.97. So what I will do, I'll copy this. 97 is my this thing. 128, so it will be 127, 126. So likewise, I will have to build it. 192, 168 dot 10.65. So the broadcast IP is 192.168.10. The next IP is 196. So before IP will be 95. And before this IP, 192.168.10.94. So if you can remember plus 62 plus 63 and all, you can just proceed, okay. But in exams, remembering all the things will be difficult. So as I told you, you just write with the dot. One dot is fine, okay. Just for our understanding only, right? 10.63. 192.168.10.62, and this will be 192.168.10.33. Okay, so I just used simple format here, but for better understanding, I'm just typing complete numbers. Okay, no problem. So this will be your subnet table. So from exams, if they ask what is the first address of your fifth subnet, okay. So you should be able to type and say, are you this choose the best answer, right? You can easily say 192.168.10.161. That is the first IP address. They may ask what is the second IP or third IP address also in the fourth subnet, third subnet, whatever it is. So you should be fast enough to build the tables at least for 10 lines. Okay. So within 2 minutes of time. So instead of typing full numbers, you start following the single number, okay, dot 193 and dot 192 dot 190. So we can better follow the simple numbers for forming the tables. So let's go back to um, the table again. What are the broadcast address? So each network has a broadcast address. The question may be like, what is the broadcast address of fourth subnet? Okay, so you have fourth subnet here and broadcast address here. So without broadcast address, nobody can function in the network. Coming to the next example, class C segment, same. It is the same range of IP address, but I'm just taking 240 as an example. So borrowing the bits from host portion to the network portion, what happens here? So when I reach 4 bits, I'm getting 14 subnets, and my subnet mask is matching 240. So I'm going to have 14 subnets in my network, 14 subnets in a single network. Okay, so how many hosts will be there? Now I borrowed already 4 bits. How many bits left out for host? So only 4 bits. So number of hosts per bit is again 14. So it means that I will have 14 network. Each network will have 14 hosts inside it. So this kind of segregation is required for smaller networks, smaller projects. We need not allocate more number of IPs for them, right? Because it is going to be wasted if they are not using the missions. So better we'll stop the wastage of IP address. And what are the valid subnet mask, subnet ID? So 256 minus 240, subnet ID will be 16. So forming a table now, take the number like dot 16, dot 32, dot 48. So likewise, you have to add all with dot 32. So 15 subnets, and we'll not be able to use the last subnet because it is matching the IP address. So we are not going to use the last subnet. So only 14 subnets are there, and you have got the IP address can be used within the 14 segments. So each segment has a broadcast address that is also mentioned here. So what is the sixth subnet? So there may be some questions like this. What is the sixth subnet of this IP range? So sixth subnet of IP range is dot 190.96. You have to choose this one. All right. They may twist anything in the exam. Okay. What is the starting AP of third subnet? So third subnet starting AP. This is not the starting AP. This is the subnet ID. Okay. Each network should have one subnet ID, and this is the starting IP. Whatever you're seeing here, that is a starting IP. Okay, so we can try for further examples like slash 29 and slash 30 for better understanding, right? So we have come to the conclusion of class C subnetting. So hope we have clear understanding of what is IP subnetting, why we are segregating the bigger network into a smaller network, and how to split the networks. And in class C, how are we going to split the networks, and how many network and how many subnetwork we are going to get it, and what is the broadcast address and what is a subnet ID. So all those things we have covered in this session. We have come to the conclusion of part 1. Thank you very much.